Hello everyone, my name is Tara and welcome to Aligning to Love. In this channel I aim to spread hope, joy, peace, and love to the world by sharing goodness and love within my life. In this video I wanted to share my personal and family life updates and events and the signs I saw along the way. In the past videos I've been sharing my reflections from August to December and recapturing the memories and events for myself to reflect on the end of the year of 2025, but also the major move that my family did to Middlebury, Vermont. And so this video is going to be talking about the ending of September month and the week 1 of October. In my previous video, I had tried to end the September events, but my daughter had woken up, so I had to cut the video short. So I'm doing another ending of September and trying to get through that, as well as talking about week 1 of October events. So here I go. September had a lot of highlights, but there were 3 that I really wanted to make sure I put in a video because they were really meaningful to me. September 19th, between the time that I had talked about with Joseph's mom coming to have dinner with my family, and then between the time span of Joseph's mom to the anniversary weekend of my friends Anna and Chipper and Ann and Scott, on September 19th, my daughter Juniper moved from size 3 to size 4 diapers. And I know it's silly, but that's always been a sentimental milestone for me because I remember when we brought her home from the hospital and how tiny the newborn diapers were. And to know that she's all the way up to size 4 is just showing that kids really do grow up in the blink of an eye. And I never understood that phrase when I was a kid, when adults would say that in relation to me. But being a mom, I definitely see how it is an accurate statement. And so that was a really important date and milestone that I want to always remember. And then September 22nd was Juniper's milestone of turning 19 months. And it was also a gorgeous day, and we went with my parents and my husband and Juniper and me, and we went to Sunrise Orchards in Cornwall, Vermont. And so this orchard is so stunning. It overlooks the Adirondacks, and it has beautiful apple orchards down the whole fields and hills that you see, and then you see the other plains of farmland, and it's spectacular. It really is an incredible scene, and they are positioned right up on a hill, so it's amazing. I feel so peaceful there. And so that was a really fun day. We had Juniper dressed up in a little pumpkin dress and a little pumpkin hat, knitted hat, and she was in a pumpkin patch, and so that was really fun to take pictures of her there. She got to go down the aisles or the lanes of apples and pick her own. Last year we went to the same orchard, but she was in a stroller for the majority of the time, so this time she was actually walking, which was huge, and it's just crazy how much she's grown in a year. So those were the 3 final September events that I wanted to capture. And now I'll be moving to week 1 of October 2025. On October 1st, I remember taking a bunch of pictures of my daughter because she was going through a growth spurt. And I could just tell all of her pants and t-shirts and even PJs were getting to the point where you could tell that they were getting too small. They weren't going all the way down to her ankles, or they were becoming close to belly shirts when she'd raise her arms, and the PJs just weren't fitting right. And so for me, in order to feel comfortable and accept that we need new clothes, I always take pictures of the clothes that she's outgrowing so that it's easy for me to let go. And so that's what we did on October 1st. And that then after the pictures, I took the pictures of all of her favorite outfits that I usually put her in more often. We washed them, we donated them, and got them ready to be in boxes or plastic bags to drop them off at the store, which is called Junebug. And actually, Junebugs. Is it Junebug or Junebugs? I think it's Junebug. And which is really funny because Junebug is our nickname for juniper, and the fact that the store is called Junebug is hysterical, I think. It's very fitting. And so October 2nd, we were doing the actual transition, the transfer of all those donations to the store. October 2nd was also a day that the three of us took a walk into Middlebury, and it was one of those long walks that I talked about in past videos. My husband and I and Juniper, it was a beautiful day, the sun was out. We were still getting bits and pieces of those summer weather, with the temperatures being really warm, and we were just trying to enjoy it while it lasted. And a part of that walk, I was so surprised to find out that there was this beautiful, I don't know if it's made out of wood or like the fake wood, but it was this beautiful path that went down to Otter Creek, and apparently it had been there for 10 or 13 years, and I had never known about it when I was living in Middlebury. I was just shocked that I never knew it was down there, and it was so easy to push the stroller, and you would go from the field up near the street all the way down to the water's edge, and then it even went through marshland and then out to this beautiful scenic view of Otter Creek and the other bank of the river on the other side. And it was gorgeous, and I am just so thankful that I found it. And I just can't believe that of all the people I know in Middlebury and my friends and all the people that do walks and hiking trails, I've never had heard about it. And so my husband was really happy about that trail too, because sometimes he gets sad that I'm the one showing him all the places in Middlebury and that we never experienced something new together. And so that was one adventure that we were having a first time experience all as a family again. And so that was really special to me as well. On October 3rd, it was a fun birthday party for my friend Hallie. This was really the first time that I was able to get together with my middle school and high school friends that I've had more than half my lifetime and celebrate my friend Hallie's birthday. And she is such a loving and kind soul. Like so many of my friends from all parts of my life are like that. And but my friends from middle school and high school, they hold a special place in my heart, because I don't even feel like they're friends. To me, they're just like extended family at this point. And they're some of the easiest friendships I've ever had throughout all of our growing up, and from being middle schoolers to teenagers, and from 18 all the way through our 20s and now into our 30s. It's just really special to be able to keep friendships for that long and to see how much all of us have changed and grown and shifted in either our viewpoints or just our goals in life, and being supportive to one another throughout all of those processes. And I'm just really thankful for this group of friends, and I hope that they'll continue to be in my life the rest of my life. And at this point, I had been really missing my friends, because I felt bad because I had been in the area since August, but I really hadn't reached out to friends at that point, because I was so overloaded and overwhelmed with our move that I couldn't manage being social in the first months of August and September. And so I was really happy that starting October, I was actually getting to have quality time with them. And so our friend Amanda, she hosted the party, and I was able to see so many people I saw throughout my childhood. And it was exactly what I needed. I was really strung out beforehand because I just felt overloaded. I felt like I I was the first time I was leaving my daughter at night again since my time where I went with my brother to the Avril Lavigne concert in May. Because with the bedtime routines and all of the schedules and just the things that we do during the day, I don't like to miss those. But it was really healthy for me to go out, and I needed to see my friends way more than even I imagined. And so it was so much fun to celebrate Hallie. It was so much fun to see everyone and be together and just celebrate life. And I got to hear so much of what was going on with my friends, and being in person is so different compared to texting or even a phone call. And it just felt like home. My middle school and high school friends, that's like, besides family, home is like the main word I can think of when I say that I spend time with them. And I hope they know, each and every one of them, how much they mean to me. And so that was such an amazing night for me. I told my husband I'd be back at like 7 or 8, but I didn't end up coming home till like 10:30. And so that was really fun. October 4th was a day where I did major, like I had said in a different video that the kitchen and the living room had been completed with getting organized, but our living room was still the room that I would always organize and sort and donate things. And so even though it was done, it still always had those piles going on, so I knew where to put things and what I needed to load in my car. And I finally got all of the donation piles that needed to go in my car back in the car. I sorted everything else where it needed to go in the house. I was putting up picture frames. Finally, it felt like we were at the point where I could put up picture frames. And also I was we had all this shelving, and we had this really big wooden chest. That's like the best word I can describe for it. This beautiful wooden chest that our landlord has, and it's very deep. And so I was putting all of my thick books like Harry Potter and all of my other childhood books that I could never donate. And so I was just really happy, because at this point the porch was the way I wanted it, the kitchen was the way I wanted it, the living room was the way I had wanted it, the guest bathroom was the way I had wanted it. And in a sense that if people just stopped over, I wouldn't feel embarrassed about the way it looked, or I wouldn't feel just I don't know, like I'd have to run around with my head cut off trying to make it look presentable. And so feeling like people could stop over and I wasn't strung out was a great feeling, because I hadn't felt like that the whole month of September. And so that was great. And it was actually perfect, because my mom had texted me and said, oh, me and my friend Lynn would like to come over and see you after we go to a rugby game that one of her friends was coaching. And so they did. They ended up stopping by. And it was great. It was really nice to be able to show someone what the place looked like and feel proud of what it looked like. Because all of my friends that had come to visit in September, I was happy that they came, but I was kind of like shrinking inside because the place was a mess. But they understood, because we had just moved in. But I right in October 4th, when my mom came over with her friend, that's when I really felt confident. And plus, like, when it's your friends that are your same age and your peers, it's a little different. Like, I feel less embarrassed when things aren't as presentable. than I do when it's like my mom's friends. Even though like they've been through life, they know what those situations are like. I don't know. It always makes me feel more embarrassed if things aren't put together for other company like that. But they had a great time, and it was really funny because my mom's friend Lynn, the minute she came into the garage, she said she had major deja vu, like she had been there before. And I just think that's so cool. I love deja vu, and for me, I always think that it's like you're experiencing like memories from an alternate timeline or an alternate dimension. And so I always think it's cool whenever I get deja vu or when other people say they get it. And we were able to go for a walk with Juniper, and it was just really nice. And in a different video, I had said that I got to see a classmate from elementary school when I was getting my blood work done in August, and that was her son. And so I finally got to see her when she stopped over. So it was really great. And then on, let's see, I'm only going to do week 1. So on October 5th, it was so funny. We're in October, but we got this heat wave that was like summer all over again. And October 5th was one of the last days I took Juniper with my parents down to Waterhouses, which is a marina on Lake Dunmore. And she got to play in the sand some more. She got to put her feet in the water. We didn't go all the way in swimming. But my mom had a friend there, and her friend was so excited because she was going to be having a grandbaby very soon. And so she was like, any day now we could get the call. And there was this one time where we were standing there with her talking to her, and then all of a sudden her phone rang and she answered it, and my mom and I were just like waiting in anticipation to hear if it was the call for the grandbaby, but it wasn't. But that night was really nice. It definitely felt like it was the last night of summer, is because whenever I'm by the lake or by a body of water and I know that summer is coming to a close, I always just feel my heart just feels a little heavy. But it was nice to have that with my parents, because normally if I was in White River, my last day of summer would be in August. So I was really thankful that it was all the way in October now, and I could have that experience with them. Going on to the couple last days of week 1, I wanted to talk about the 7th and I'm going to do the 8th, even though it's part of week 2. On October 6th and 7th, I did a lot of walks by myself with Juniper. It was really nice. And part of the October 5th, 6th, and 7th, I was really excited because all the clothes that I had donated for her, I was able to get new clothes that fit her. And so I was excited to put her in all her new clothes from the secondhand shop in Middlebury called Junebug. And I remember one of the walks, she was in these cute little bell-bottom jeans with, it looked like Flower Power shirt, a brown t-shirt with a hood and colorful flowers. And then the next day on the 7th, we did a walk and she was in jean baby leggings and then a maroon top. And I just thought she looked so adorable. And the weather was still warm and the trees still had leaves on them. They were changing, and it was just such a beautiful day. And I just remember being so thankful having those one-on-one moments with my daughter, even though some of the times when we would walk back home, she was sleeping. But those walks were just so peaceful, and I know I'll cherish them forever. There is another video that I talk about that's part of week 1, and it goes into a different section of week 1 and I think week 2 that is going to coincide with this video. So I'll put it right after this video. And then I just want to end that October 8th was the actual day that my husband finally got his ears cleaned, and he was so pumped about that because he had felt like he was underwater for 2 weeks, and his chest was getting congested. He was having a head cold, and he got a nurse at his work to clean his ears, and he felt so much better right after. And so that was a big win for him, and I was really proud of him because I said in the other video, but if you haven't watched it, we were dealing with such a hassle with our insurance, and he didn't want to get it cleaned to make an official appointment, so he was just so happy that one of his colleagues could do it. And so she was able to do it, and then it did get processed, but if we had done it a different way, he would have had to wait weeks. And so we still did go through the insurance and the right way to do it, but he just got it to be able to be done faster than, basically he just didn't have to make an appointment. And at that point he really needed it done. So it was really good. So that, I believe, I'm just going to quickly check my notes because it's been so long since it's been October. That is what I remember from the end of September all the way through week 1. And I know that for me, this channel is a lot of just reflecting on my life and the memories that I am so appreciative, and the experiences that I'm thankful to have. And even though I'm talking about my life, I do hope that if you come across this video or come across my channel, that you're either able to get some enjoyment or humor out of things, or just hopefully it's relatable if you've ever been in those same experiences, whether it's feeling lousy or dealing with insurance or a big move, or if you've had children. I hope in some way that this is relatable and that you can find comfort in knowing that you're not the only one who's gone through the ups and downs of life that make it an adventure. So I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.